Yeah, you see, generation here, there's obviously a linguistic, cultural understanding of generation, but the Messenger of Allah ﷺ said that my companions will not exceed 100 years. He said that after 100 years, there'll be no companions left. So now, what is a companion? That's what makes up a generation. So let's say, for example, you've got Abu Bakr. Abu Bakr, he's the grandfather. He's got multiple children. Let's just take Asma, for example. And then she has a child, Abdullah. Right? That's 3 generations. All of these are companions. Abu Bakr passes away 2 years after the Messenger of Allah. Asma and Aisha and other of his offspring, they pass away around about 30 years after the Prophet ﷺ's hijrah. Abdullah ibn Zubayr, he passes away about 70, 80 years after hijrah. So now look, there's a companion that's still alive 70, 80 years after hijrah. Therefore, the ulama have said here, when the Messenger of Allah ﷺ said the best generation is the generation of the companions, and then those after them, those after them, that doesn't necessarily mean generation meaning the people that were alive at that time of that same age. Meaning you've got an understanding of your generations, the people who are in their 40s, and my generation, the people who are in their 30s. But that's not what he meant here, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Generation are those people, everyone that believed, and that is a large spectrum from people who are in their 60s, 70s, and people who are still teenagers, and they met the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Therefore, the ulama, just to summarize, have said now that a generation is 100 years. Therefore, who are the Salaf? The first 3 generations. Therefore, it's the first 300 years. Obviously, there's khilaf in this issue. Some of the ulama have said 200 years. Some of them have said even longer. Some of them have said 500 years. What seems to be the correct view is that generation, and the Messenger of Allah spoke the truth. He said, after 100 years, there'll be none of my companions alive. And this is true. Anas bin Malik was one of the last to pass away, and he was 100 plus. Therefore, the ulama have said roughly around, actually, to be precise, I think some of them have said 306 years. That's when the era of the Salaf ends. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best.